Okay, so this is Mill Lane, which I think everyone living in Billingham will be familiar with. But where is the mill? Okay, so this is the end of Mill Lane as it stands today. But this land here has been built up maybe 20-30 feet so that they could service this railway bridge that's further up. Originally the road would have been much lower down and would have trundled off in that direction towards the mill. As far as I can make out, this is all private lands now, which means that I'm going to have to walk the long way around down here. Okay, this is a video about me trying to search for Billingham Mill. It was initiated by my interest as to why there was a mill lane in Billingham with no apparent mill on it. But if we come away from that for a second, the video that I've made starts here, which is in Norton Watermill. Now this is actually underneath the A19 bypass now, and the start of the video is me on a footbridge, and that's where Norton Watermill is. The point about this video is that there's Norton Watermill, and in order to build Billingham Mill, they then had to build a race, and the race is quite extensive. It goes from there down past Billingham Bottoms all the way through here, and there's Mill Lane. Now Mill Lane, as far as I'm aware, ends about here now, right? But in the olden days it used to continue on, and you can see the mill race continues on, and here is Billingham Mill here. So to put things into perspective, all this land here is what got turned into ICI, so that's now being built up, was ICI, and it's back to derelict land again. This area here is like the Imperial Road area of Billingham, and you can see, if I zoom back out, you can see that this mill race had to go all the way from there, all the way down there, all the way down there to here. So it was quite an extensive undertaking to build this, and then at the very end the water gets put back into Billingham Beck. Now here, although it's not shown on this map, but it is shown on other maps, at the bottom of Billingham Bank here, and the old A19 runs through here, and there's a roundabout here now, but in this area here there was mill ponds, which I'm assuming was like a reservoir for water, so that if there was ever less water coming down through the race, that they could use that to power the mill. So all that in mind, here comes the video. Okay, so I'm going to be making a video here about Billingham Mill. Well, Billingham Mill is about a mile over there. The fall of the land was so faint, so slight, that they had to build quite an extensive mill race to get to it. And strangely, although this is Norton Mill, the Billingham Mill race actually started not long after. So the Beck would have come through here originally, and then there would have been an offshoot going off into the mill races at the bottom of Billingham Bottoms. Okay, so we've come off Billingham Beck probably about 400 or 500 yards around the corner. The mill race comes round across one of many bridges that were built, although this is probably not original, and there's the mill race continuing on. Okay, so I think this is the mill race around the corner. So you can see the water would have come through this channel. Now over there is what I believe to be a mill pond, which is like a reserve for the mill. So that's there, and then the mill race continues, and it would have went through a bridge under a bridge there, which you may be able to see. It's covered in trees now. I'm out the back of the Imperial Road area, and I found the channel, which I believe is the feed into the mill. This would have all been hand cut, I think. The beck being a good few hundred yards over there. at a low level, of course, because what you want with this channel is to maintain the level, because it's the high level that's going to provide the power for your mill. Okay, so I've got the channel coming in here. They've built a footbridge across at some point, and it continues off down there. Okay, so I think I found the water channel into the mill. You've got this ditch here, goes up there, and I suspect that looks like a bridge across is probably where the mill per se was, but I think I'm probably standing on what were the buildings. There's various bits of brickwork lying around here. Some sort of rivet. Okay, so I appear now to be at Billingham Mill, the corn mill apparently, with a water wheel. It's probably hard to see, but there's a waterway that comes through here, which is currently backed up by a concrete weir with a overflow pipe, which I'm guessing wouldn't have been there originally. Then got this rather makeshift crossing here. So, but then, although again it's hard to see, if we come through here, although this doesn't look much, you can see here that in actual fact we are standing on a deck which overhangs the waterway, and there's the other side of the the weir, like I say, which I think would be later, which then would have meant that the mill itself would have been on this land here. Not much to show for it now, but this is why Mill Lane in Billingham is called Mill Lane. Billingham Green's somewhere over here, so you come down Mill Lane to the end of New Road, and Mill Lane would have continued all the way along to somewhere called Brook House, and these buildings here somewhere, we can see them, I don't know, some buildings here, they're about where I think Brook House used to be, and then the mill was here. Yeah, I'm sorry, this video just keeps getting longer. That's the ledge I was stood on a few minutes ago. Yeah, that ledge, that line there is the ledge. And I've just had a look down underneath, and there is some pipework, maybe a water valve or something. Would it be too romantic to suggest that that was something to do with it? It'd be great to say that was part of the wheel, but I know it's not. Apparently it was a corn mill, water-powered corn mill, that was here. Obviously long before Billingham became the town it is now. It would have just been a collection of a few houses back then, and the church on the hill. Right, so all I've got to do now is find out how the hell to get out of here. Okay, so I'm a bit further downstream now, so the mill would have been about here. Now there's this fence being put in here because the waterway is just over the top there, in amongst all these reeds. It then goes underneath this piece of land that I'm stood on, and then goes down that little channel there and joins back up with the Billingham Beck. And unfortunately this is where my walk is going to have to end, I think, because there's nowhere else for me to go.